Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the World of Wrestling podcast. Here today to discuss about the UFC Fight Night event with Steve Garcia and David Onama as the main event of this UFC fight card in the Apex in Las Vegas. This seems to be a pretty exciting card. I kind of like what I see here. Some pretty decent names as well. I got a few bets. I will tell you guys who I bet on this card. I actually have 3 bets on here that I feel very confident in that should walk away, and a few others that I didn't bet on but I feel confident on, which I will tell you whether or not they're a confident pick or not. That I would say I could recommend betting on. I would try to stick to straight bets here, not parlaying it so it doesn't, make it more difficult to win. I kind of hate parlays. I like the fact that you can take big, odd favorites and put them together to make it a smaller, lower amount of odds and make it a little bit easier to win more money back, but it's also more difficult because you're stacking the odds against yourself. So it kind of sucks parlaying. I prefer straight bets more than anything else. I try to avoid the parlays, but sometimes parlays are a little bit tempting with the favorites when you feel confident enough to put the... I do about 2 or 3 legs, and that's about it. I don't try to go too far into it, because when you add more to it, it just makes it more and more of a headache. But anyway, enough about the betting portion of things. Let's get into the first fight of the night. It will be Catalina Alencar versus Arena Conalosi. I like Conalosi in this fight, but I don't think she has the capabilities to avoid the grappling per se. I think she's got the striking a little bit better, but her problem is her defense absolutely sucks. She gets hit about 4.74 strikes per minute, and she's got a 45% defense. So that doesn't really entice me too well on the feet either. But she's a very strong woman, Carnellosi. She could knock her out, possibly, but I don't think Carnellosi is going to pick up this victory. I think she's going to lose because of the grappling portion of things. Her takedown defense is very bad, 14%. She's apparently easy to take down with that kind of takedown defense percentage. I would not bet her with Talita Alencar being a woman who has been known to get takedowns. She generally gets about 2.5 takedowns per fight within the 15 minutes of a fight. And her accuracy is not the greatest, though. She only gets about 20%. Her takedown defense is pretty fair, I guess. It's only 50%, but that's not that great. Carlossi, on the other hand, she's nailed about 1.3, so she gets like maybe 1, maybe 2 takedowns per fight, and will get like about 55% accuracy, which is quite a bit better than her defensive side of things. If I was Carnellosi, I could see her path being takedowns on Alencar, but my vision here on this fight, what I'm reading here, based on a 50% takedown defense, I'd say she may not be able to do that if that's the case. So it's kind of a guessing game. I'm going to go with Catalina Alencar, and I'll also tell you the reason why based on win and loss records for the UFC per se. see what they've done currently. Alencar is 2-1 in the UFC. Carnelossi is 3-2. So I mean, they're pretty much even as well in their records. I mean, it's not like they're one's better than the other when it comes to the UFC records. So I'm gonna go with Alencar, but I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know who really is going to win. But Catalina Alencar is my pick to win this fight. I hope she does, just because I picked her. I want to be able to be accurate with my picks. But yeah, I would not bet this fight at all. It is based on the stats alone and their records in the UFC, experience-wise, ain't that much off from one another. I think could possibly be a very close fight. So I'll just go with Catalina Alencar, but I would not recommend betting this fight. If you want to bet the chances of it going to the distance, I mean, you could. But personally, I don't know. I mean, even in Topology, there's a lot of people that are mixed on this. Submissions is where Alencar has got half of her wins from. Let's see, Arnalisa, or Conalosi. She's only been submitted once in her career. So I'm going to say that she ends up, she may actually end up losing this fight by just a decision, I think. I mean, Alencar has never been knocked out. Conor Losi's got most of her wins by knockout. I don't know if she's gotten them in the UFC yet, but let's check it out. One fight went to a disqualification. She won by a rear naked choke and a ground and pound. So she has had 2 finishes and 1 disqualification win, which wasn't her fault. It was Piera Rodriguez. I think that was the one where I think Piera Rodriguez I bet on her once, and she lost because of a headbutt situation when she had her on the ground. And she was winning the fight too, actually. That's pretty fucked up. But yeah, I'm going to go with Catalina Alencar to win this fight. I'm going to say judge's scorecard, possibly, maybe the submission. I'm not sure. Next, we had Phil Rowe going up against Siko Hayo Ko. I'm going to go with Ko on this one. I feel very strong about this one. This is one of my picks that I actually am betting on as well. I really like his odds. His odds are under a -200, which is fantastic. So I think Ko has got a strong case at winning this fight. I think Phil Rowe, I picked him to win once, the last fight he had. He was an underdog in that fight, and he was kind of struggling in that fight until the 3rd round, because I had him losing to his opponent 2-0 going into the 3rd, and he just walloped him and fucking wasted his ass and walked away with the victory. But if he wouldn't have finished him, he would have lost that fight. I think Ko's going to win this fight simply because he needs to get takedowns. He gets the takedowns, he's going to be able to win this fight. Phil Rowe, not a high volume puncher. I mean, 3.99 ain't that great. I don't think he's a very high volume puncher, and he's only 49% hit rate, 4.38 absorbed strikes per minute, and a 53% defense for Phil Rowe. Not bad on the defensive side. I think that's fair. But Ko is way better in the defensive end. He's more accurate with his punches, only 2.9 though per minute, with a 52% accuracy with his strikes. And he's only absorbed about 2 strikes per minute with a 59% defense, which is pretty damn good. And Ko being a wrestler, he wrestled what's his name? Obion Elliott, and he whipped his ass. I mean, and I bet on Elliott to win that fight, and I was very disappointed. I did not know that Ko was gonna go in there and fucking wallop this dude. Um, this is kind of a challenge, I'd say. Phil Rowe is 6 foot tall. He's 6'3", actually. Ko's only 5'10", but I think he can get this done, closing in the distance and basically taking this fight to the ground. That is going to be his path to victory, I think. If Rowe goes ahead and comes out swinging and actually legitimately throws in volume, he could win this fight. But I don't think he utilizes his advantages in these fights. And I think Ko is going to get this fight to the ground. He's going to keep him there, and he's going to wallop him from the ground, and that's how he's going to win. I don't think Phil Rowe is going to be able to defend his takedowns. I think Ko has got good enough takedown ability because he did that against Obion Elliott. And Obion Elliott, in my opinion, is a far better fighter than Phil Rowe is. So, personally, I think Ko is the pick. I think he's a good bet to go with. I think he's going to easily walk away with this victory as long as he utilizes the takedown striking game. I would give it to Phil Rowe in this if he throws in volume. If he don't, then that's going to be that. I don't see him winning this fight if he's not throwing as many punches as humanly possible. And he's not known to do that. He's a slow starter. And Ko's, if he picks it up real quick in the first round, gets his ass to the ground and wallops him and then eventually submits him, he's going to walk away with the victory. I have no doubts in my mind about that. I think Ko is definitely an exceptional fighter based on what I saw. He's won most of his fights, though, by TKO, 6 of them, and 6 wins by decision. He's only been knocked out twice, which is kind of concerning. But personally, I think he's walking away with this victory. I think he could even win by a submission. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Phil Rowe right now and see how many times he's been submitted. Has never been submitted. So, okay. I guess Ko is going to just win by decision or by a knockout from ground and pound. So that's where I'm going with that. Next, we have Alice Ardeline versus Montserrat Ruiz. I'm going with Ardeline. I think it's more because of her experience, height difference, and so forth. Give me a second to take a look at her. She's 1-3 in the UFC as well. She hasn't been doing well since her debut. Her debut, she won, and from there, she's been nothing but losses left and right. That's a bit concerning. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Alice Ardeline, and based on the striking wise, Ardeline is 6.73 landed strikes per minute, 44% accuracy. She does absorb a lot of punches though. 5.4 punches, 57% defense though. So apparently she's in brawls where she's avoiding half the strikes almost, or a little over half the strikes, while her opponent though, Ruiz, has got 0.79 strikes. That's terrible with 27% accuracy. Nah, no way. Grappling wise, she's pretty good with the takedowns. Very good with that, Ruiz. She's got 2.05 takedowns per fight, 83% accuracy, which isn't bad. But On the other side of things, Ardeline has got an 87% takedown defense. So at the end of the day, guys, Ardeline's the pick. I wouldn't bet this fight at all. This is a pointless fucking bet. I wouldn't dare touch this fight, especially with Ardeline being having a 10-7 record overall in MMA. No thanks. I'll pass. I appreciate it. Anyway, moving on. We got Caitlin Vera versus Norma Dumont. I'm taking Norma Dumont, and I'll tell you guys why. Norma Dumont has got a 12-2 record. Overall in the UFC, she's 8-2. Her opponent's 9-4. She has been fucking tearing it up. I mean, her last fight was in 2022 in a split decision with Macy Chiasson. I think Macy Chiasson did face Cataline Vera, though. Yeah, she did. She beat her by a unanimous decision. Ooh. That's a little bit of a concern there. But I'm going to say that Norma Dumont walks away with the victory here. It was a split decision. I don't know exactly what happened. I never got a chance to see what the fight was like. But yeah, I'm going to say that Norma Dumont wins here. She's got a 3.86 accuracy, landed punches per minute, 50% accuracy, while Vera's got 2.84 strikes landed per minute with only 41% accuracy. And she absorbs about 3.72 strikes per minute while only having a 51% defense. On the other side of things, Dumont has only suffered about 2.16 strikes per minute with a 65% accuracy in defense. I like that heavily. A good defense is better than a good offense. I mean, unless your offense is absolutely terrible and can't do shit. But Dumont's got good offense and has good defense. That's a recipe for positivity and success. Takedowns, both of these ladies have very good takedown defense. Vera's got 90% takedown defense. Dumont has 72% takedown defense. Dumont has 1.72 takedowns per fight, so about almost 2 per fight that she gets a takedown, and gets 56% accuracy of takedowns, which is pretty damn good. I'm going to say that the takedowns for either one of these ladies is going to be pretty damn difficult. So I can imagine these two women probably fighting mostly on the feet. And if that's the case, I'm going to say that Dumont has the higher probability of winning on the feet, and she'll probably win by a judge's scorecard or by a knockout. That's where I'm going with that. Next, we got Dante Johnson versus Sherdekis Dumas. Dumas, experienced fighter, got a lot of trouble and issues going on in his personal life that might affect him in this fight. Personally, I think this is more of a payday for him than anything else. I don't see this as an actual fight for him to, worry about winning or losing. I think this is just him getting a paycheck. I'm going to say Dante Johnson wins, but there is a little bit of concerns I do have with Dante Johnson from his fight that he had in the Contender Series. He had an issue with cardio later on in the fight, I believe, and he was getting a little bit tired. He was winning the fight though, but I do believe, from what I remember, I think he did get tired in that fight. But he landed a ton of shots, 14 strikes per minute, 71% accuracy, absorbing about 8.44, which is kind of a concern there, and 50% defense, though, and avoided 50% of the damage. So, but I think he's got the capability of knocking Dumas out quick and making this a quick fight. First round knockout. I'm going to say Dante Johnson wins. I don't think Dumas has got the intrigue or interest in this fight to actually come out and actually do anything spectacular. I think his chances of winning would be probably the takedown more than anything, but his accuracy in takedowns is terrible. But it is something that he could look for as a pathway to win, because I don't think Dante Johnson has been tested yet in the UFC in takedowns, and in UFC, takedown efficiency is a lot different than the regional scene, I believe. So I'm going to say Dante Johnson, though, still wins this fight, despite the unknowing question of how well his takedown defense is against a UFC fighter. And this is technically his debut fight. Timmy Kuamba versus Chang Ho Lee. This is an interesting fight. There's a lot of mixed feelings on this. From what I see on Tapology, is there's a lot of people having mixed beliefs about this fight. Let me just double check that, make sure I'm correct. No, they got Lee by 83%, Kuamba 17%. That's kind of a flip, and Kuamba, I believe, is the favorite in this fight. He's 1-2. He won his first fight recently on April of 2025 against Roberto Romero. What the fuck? I'm sorry, but I'm gonna go with Chang Ho Lee on this one. I think Chang Ho Lee has the capabilities of walking away with this victory. He's got 2 wins, no losses. He did get a split decision in his debut fight, but I mean, against a guy who's 26-8 at the time, I mean, that's not bad at all. But I'm just gonna go with Lee in this one. Looking at the stats, let's just take a quick look at the stats here. Lee, 4.92 landed strikes per minute, 67% accuracy. Unfortunately, 2.35 with a 39% accuracy in defense. Not good. I don't like that. 3.12 landed strikes per minute by Timmy Kuamba, but only a 42% accuracy, which doesn't intrigue me all that much. 4.3 absorbed strikes by him per minute, and 58% defense. So his defense is quite better than Lee's. So I mean, that's a little concerning. I mean, I wouldn't bet this fight personally. I wouldn't. This is probably going to be an entertaining fight for an audience, but as the betting, being a bettor in this fight, this is probably going to make you sweat quite a bit. I wouldn't take on this kind of bet at all. I mean, if you were getting free money, I will tell you guys this. Go to Novig. Novig allows you to bet on UFC, and Novig will give you $10 per month just logging in every single day for 25 days out of the month, and you will get a total of $10. That allows you to bet 10 cents per fight, and you could literally bet the entire card if you really wanted to, just for fun and entertainment reasons, and it won't put you in under any kind of financial pressure whether you win or lose. So if you want to go that route, that's definitely okay. I would say then just bet on everything on the card. But as betting with your own hard-earned money, this would not be the fight I'd bet on. I mean, this is just not something I would encourage anyone to do. This is going to be entertaining, but as predicting how this is going to go, extremely hard. Can't really figure out where this is going to go. Lee actually does have 3.27 takedowns per fight, 33% accuracy, and Kuamba's got an 80% takedown defense. So his pathway to taking the fight to the ground, I wouldn't say is the greatest, so he better be able to win the fight standing. So I'm still going to go with Lee, but Kuamba, he definitely could win this fight. There's no doubt about it. He still has a fighter's chance. So it is kind of a flip of the coin kind of situation. Next, we have Billy Elicana versus Kevin Christian. I think this is Christian's first fight in the UFC. As history repeats itself, I'm going to stick with the history repeating itself. Because I don't think Kevin Christian has had a fight in the UFC. No, he has not. He had one fight in the LFA and then fought someone in the Contender Series. He won by an armbar in the second round. Big fucking whoop-de-doo. I'm going to take Billy Elicana simply because of his experience. He has fought top-level fighters such as... Give me 1 second. I'll tell you guys who that is. That would be Ibo Aslan. He's a pretty good knockout artist. He could have knocked him out in that fight. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Elicana in this one. I think he has the capabilities of winning this fight with no sweat or problems. I think he could win this fight though by decision. I think that's how he won the fight against Aslan. Yeah, he won the fight by unanimous decision. I predict he's going to win this fight by decision as well. I see that being the case. He's got 2.34. Sorry about that, guys. 2.34 accuracy, 57% strikes connected, 3.18, absorbed strikes, and 49% accuracy of defense. His opponent, 0.75, not that much volume there. He's only absorbed 1.83 strikes with a 55% accuracy in defense. Takedowns, got nothing going on. What the fuck? I'm gonna go with Elicana. I think he's gonna win this fight. I don't have any concerns or worries about that. Next, we got Alan Nascimento versus Cody Durden. I think Cody Durden is a well-experienced fighter, but I don't think he's got the capabilities of beating this guy. I think Nascimento is going to walk away with the victory here, and I think he's going to win this by submission by maybe first or second round. That's what I think is going to happen here. Let me see what Alan Nascimento's deal is, what he's more prone to doing, whether it's striking, and he's won most of his fights by submission. 15 fights by submission. Damn, that's a lot of wins. And he's had a total of 21 wins. Damn, that's crazy. None of his fights he's ever lost by submission or knockout. All of his fights he's lost, which were 6, was all by decision. That is pretty fucking good, man. If your only way of being defeated is by decision, then you're doing something right in the fucking UFC. I'm just telling you that much. Alan Nascimento is the pick and is the guy I would definitely bet on. For, if you want to even go a little bit crazy, go with the submission prop, and I would nail that. If you want to bet him straight up, just money line pick, that's fine too. He is a minus 260, I believe, at this present time. But I think he's going to be perfectly fine. My apologies, guys, for that. Let's continue on. We were at the point of discussing Charles Radke and Daniel Frunze. This is a pretty interesting fight. I did throw a bet on Novig for Charles Radke. I think Charles Radke could walk away with this. Um, yeah, I'm going to go with Charles Racky in this one to defeat Daniel Frunza. I think that Charles Racky is fought some top level fighters. I think he has the experience in his back pocket, which helps him in this fight. I mean, that fight against Mike Malott was not good. I mean, him losing to him in a knockout was not fun to watch. And he lost to Carlos Prates, which, again, another good, well-known fighter who's moved up in the rankings in the UFC and has only one loss under his belt in the UFC. I think he's losing to top-level fighters. Gilbert Urbana, I think he's mid-level. Mike Mathia, nothing special there. So, I'm going to say that Charles Racky is going to win this fight without concern here. I think looking at the striking from Daniel Frunza is pretty good, 6.3 strikes landed per minute. So he's pretty active on the feet, only 40% accuracy though, and a 6.67 absorbed strikes per minute with a 56% accuracy. I think that Charles Racky has the capability of knocking this guy out. Now on UFC.com, they don't have his stats for some strange reason, and he's fought in the UFC plenty to at least have some stats available to the audience to kind of weigh up their decision on who should win or make a probable guess. And me personally, I'm going with Charles Racky. I feel he's the guy that's going to pull away with this victory. And I think he's going to knock him out in probably the second or third round. Next, we have Isaac Delgarian versus Yardir Del Valle. And this is a tough fight to pick, personally. They're both got great records. I don't know. Looking at the stats, Del Valle has 7.49 strikes landed, 67% strikes of accuracy, and this is per minute, by the way, with only a 3.46 absorbed strikes per minute, with a 52% defense. Now, I do believe he's only had one fight in the UFC, and I think that's where they're going based off of. So maybe I'm going a little off the cuff here, and I should be a little bit more open-minded to the fact that he may not have enough under his belt. Yeah, he's only had one fight, and that was against Connor Matthews. So, and he's fought in the Contender Series and won by unanimous decision against a guy who was 17-4-1 and going into the fight. So he did fight a decent fighter there, but it was regional scene. Connor Matthews, low end of the spectrum in the UFC when it comes to actual fighters. On the other side, Isaac Delgarian, his striking is 3.37, 64% striking accuracy, only 1.82 strikes landed per minute, and a 41% defense, which honestly I don't like. I do like the very low absorbed strikes, honestly. I think that's good, but excluding that, and he's only had 3 fights in the UFC. He had a split decision against Christian Rodriguez, which isn't bad. Christian Rodriguez is well known for winning, beating young prospects coming up in the ranks. Too bad he can't get a win over a major experienced UFC fighter to enhance his career. But it is what it is. He also beat Francis Marshall and Brandon Marriott. Um, so my attitude's real simple. Based on the statistics and everything else, do not bet this fight. I'm I'm dead ass serious. I would not bet this fight. This is a fight that you stay far the fuck away from. I would not touch this fight with a 10-foot pole. This is a fight to sit back and enjoy as a fan. I'll take Isaac Delgarian because of his experience. I'm not quite sure about Develli's stats right now, if that is really matching up to what his stats will look like in this fight. So I'm going to go with the experience. But again, like I said, do not bet this fight. This is not worth your time and not worth the headache of taking a loss. Just my thoughts. Anyway, moving on. We have Jeremiah Wells going up against Thiemba Gorimbo. And my feelings on this is real simple. I understand that Jeremiah Wells is an old dude. He is definitely old. Let's look at the comparison between the two, because apparently UFC's not showing age difference. So let's see it. Age difference, 39 years old. Wells, 34. Gorimba, yeah, bit of a problem there. That's my little bit of a concern, but I'm not too impressed with Gorimbo. I think Gorimbo is not that impressive in my eyes. I think there is a lot to be had. He's also 34 years old. He's 4-2 in the UFC. He lost to Vincent Leque. I forgot how to pronounce his name. He's a guy with the brain damage, with the blood in his head shit. So I'm going to go with Jeremiah Wells in this one. Not a fight I would bet on. I mean, if you want to bet on Jeremiah Wells, since he is the underdog in this fight, I'd say, yeah, go for it. It's not that big of a waste. If you happen to lose, you lose. But at least you're betting plus money on this one. So Jeremiah Wells, yeah, I'd say bet him. But he's not a very good high confidence pick in my opinion. Next, we have Waldo Acosta versus Anti Delage. I think this fight, I'm going to go with Waldo Cortez Acosta. I think that being the case, I think Waldo Acosta could win this fight simply because of his boxing paralysis, his ability to have good defense. Unfortunately, his opponent has only absorbed 1.95 strikes in a fight, per fight, which is kind of crazy. Let's go over to Tapology, see what he has done in the UFC so far. He's 1-0. He's only had one fight. He beat Massine Tiberia. I mean, it's an okay win. Not that great. I think Waldo Acosta has had some more challenging fights. He's won a couple as an underdog. I think he's going to walk away with this victory. His opponent, Costa's opponent's 8-3 in the PFL, which is not bad actually at all. So I mean, it is kind of a guessing game on who's going to win this. This could be an interesting one. I do believe Costa is the underdog, possibly. Let me just double check this real quick on Hard Rock. See if they have him listed as the underdog in this fight. There we go. Scroll down here. Costa is a plus 105. So yeah, if you wanted to bet this fight, I would bet Costa because he's the plus money. I think he's got the chance of winning this fight. I don't think this is like a one-sided, type of fight. I think this is a fight that could possibly be very close. And I think Waldo Acosta could walk away with the victory here. Honestly, I don't think that you have too much to worry about here. I think he's going to walk away with the victory, honestly. So, yeah, I'm going to go Waldo Acosta. Experience, boxing, fighting skills. I like his ability to fight on the feet. He's got good takedown defense as well. So I'm going to go Waldo Acosta. Next, we got the main event. Steve Garcia versus David Onamana. What the hell is going on here? Yeah, David Onamana. Steve Garcia, main event. Good fight here. Should be a fun one. Calvin Kattar was kind of somewhat of a challenge, supposedly, but he passed that with flying colors, personally. My only concern about Steve Garcia is his chin. He can get knocked out. He's been knocked out before. Let's take a look at David Onamana. See how he has done. He's only lost twice. Both of his fights went to a decision, so he's very durable. And winning the fights, he's won 7 by knockout. Holy shit. I don't know, guys. I might switch my pick here. I just may switch my pick. My only concern is the height and reach. Steve Garcia's got an inch reach advantage and a inch in height. So, I mean, he does have somewhat of a slight advantage, but not by much. I mean, Steve Garcia could walk away with this win. I see him winning, but as a bet, I mean, you're kind of risking it. I threw a bet on him because I'm a fan of his, but I actually got a promotional bet. So that's the reason why. So if you want to throw your own money on this, I don't know. I think you could go either way on this one. This would be a fight I'd probably wait to bet on live when the fight actually happens to see where the fight's going, so you can get a feel of it. At that point, I'd say wait. I'd say the highest I would go betting on this would be a minus 250. If it reaches that far, hopefully the fight does go long. I think Onamana is based on his stats alone with knockouts. I mean, he's not getting knocked out very easily. He's very durable. So you could go that route. Or if you see this fight going if you see this fight possibly, going far and if you want to bet the fight going the distance, that might be a good idea. Even though that's kind of not the correct correlation on where this fight really is being predicted to go. But if you were to bet this fight to go the distance, let's see how much the odds are on fight going the distance. Fight going the distance is a plus 450. You dabble a little bit of money on that bitch. I mean, you got a shot at winning this, because this fight might go the distance. And that's kind of a crazy off-the-wall bet, because Steve Garcia is known for knockouts. Steve Garcia has also been known to get knocked out in the UFC. So, I mean, there's a chance he could get knocked out too. So, I mean, it's a catch game with this. But, I mean, if you're going to throw money down on this, and you want to get the highest value possible, that might be it. Because it might be a little bit difficult for him to knock him out. In my own personal opinion. He's only been knocked out once. So excuse me, I do apologize. That's one of the reasons why I went back to Tapology to check it out. So, only knocked out once. He's been wobbled a little bit. I'm going to go with Steve Garcia. Win the fight. And that's it. Leave it at that. He's a minus 135 on Hard Rock. I mean, that's good odds for betting on a favorite. I mean, that's as close to 50-50 money you're going to get where you put in you put in the amount you put in, you're going to get almost the same back. So, yeah, I'd bet that. I'd bet Steve Garcia to win based on the fact that he's only been knocked out once. As long as he goes in this fight like he did with Calvin Cater and be very, precautious, don't do anything too risky, and just go in there and be patient, and then once you see the opening, go for the kill. I see him winning it that way. So, me personally, I think he's going to win this fight. I don't know if he's going to win it by knockout, though, because, I mean, his opponent's pretty durable, like I've been saying here. So, I'm going to go with Steve Garcia to win the fight outright. I hope his cardio holds up. I don't know. I think this fight is 5 rounds, so it is kind of a guessing game on his cardio, how well it'll hold up. I mean, he did hold up in 3 rounds against Calvin Cater pretty well. He didn't get tired out. I don't see this fight really going to the ground too much. Let me just take a quick look at Onama's, hold on. Or Onama. David Onama. I think I've been mispronouncing his name wrong. Yeah, his takedowns aren't that he doesn't do too much takedowns. He gets like 1 per fight, possibly 30% accuracy, so it's shit. And takedown defense on Steve Garcia's side is 88%, which is fantastic. So yeah, I see this fight mostly standing up. If he's getting the advantage on Onama on the feet, he's going to try to go for the takedowns, but I don't think he's going to get it, in which case that's going to lead to him not picking up the victory. And Steve Garcia is going to walk away with the win. And I think that is the path of victory for Garcia. I think he's going to win by decision, more than likely. The knockout might be a little bit of a push. But that's up to you guys. I'd bet the money line pick. It makes it a lot more simple, and it doesn't make it super difficult or annoying to have to worry about hitting the prop correctly, and you just worry about picking the correct winner in the fight. But anyway, guys, at this time, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. Thank you guys very much for watching, and have a great night, guys. Bye.